Hey guys, Jay-Sensei here again. This is going to be What If Batman Went Back in Time. Tubi TV just got not all, but most of the Batman DC AMU movies, so I've been rewatching them, so I thought of, why not just do a video on all of them. So, this story basically begins when Batman had gone to the end of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And in that one, Batman sat in the Mobius chair. I believe it's supposed to be the Mobius chair. Now, I don't think if you're actually supposed to be able to get out of it, from what I remember. But I also haven't read DC Comics in a while, so. But Batman was in it. Eventually, he got out. All that jazz. But in this one, knowing Batman, he likely only did what Darkseid would have done. Maybe a bit of deep down Batman-ness seeped into what he had learned. So I'm going to say what he learned had basically been very technology and very much technology and biology based, as he had to work on the Paradooms, but also Darkseid's technology to drain the Earth. So with this one, Batman would more or less, when he comes back, he'd be basically at the beginning of his time as Batman, like when he first returns to Gotham after his 10 years of training. Now, he had basically learned every ability of the Bat family, and then some. He had basically enhanced every skill along, being his own detective, strategy, all those kinds of abilities, but also amplified them to, let's say there's a different detective strategy down on Jupiter somehow. Batman would learn that. He learned every detective strategy across his universe, every detective strategy. He learned every strategy and martial art across the universe. It's kind of just embedded in his brain. Then when he goes back in time, everything that he learns is embedded in his brain and his muscles. It's just automatically like that. He has no choice. Now, when Batman had awakened, he had jolted awake after his first night back at Wayne Manor. He sat up, and he remembers everything from Justice League Dark and Apocalypse War. Everything. The losses, the destruction, the consequences of their choices, everything. Now, he would also have memorized every martial art, every detective skill, like I said before, every form of weaponry, technology, and combat adaptation. From the past, the present, the future, all in his universe. He learned all of it. It is in his brain and seeped into his muscles. So, first order of business, Gotham. When Bruce returned in Gotham, nothing had changed, but at the same time, everything did. His vast knowledge of everything, he only revealed to one person, Alfred Pennyworth. And he's the one who trusted with this because of the fact that he didn't know if he could branch off the timeline or not. But he's willing to risk it because he knows he can fix it. Or at least he can contain it. So, Bruce actually began revolutionizing Wayne tech immediately. I was wondering, how revolutionized would it be? He has the blueprints for everything Darkseid would have done. He's bringing Apocalypse tech to Earth and turning it against them. I mean, he does this all in a matter of months. Everything that we see through the DC AMU that's all Wayne tech, he does in a matter of months. One thing I want to mention is that this isn't DC AMU, it's just a Batman series, like the one where we have Batman vs. Dracula, that movie. Batman would be able to have that, something that's meant to replace the son of Superman wherever needed. Batman built that in his basement on a random weekend. He just knows how to do that. So, stuff like that, he would also be making suits. By the way, I'm also incorporating other DC projects into this, but not many, just a few certain ones. So, matter of months, he basically brought Wayne Tech to the front of, Earth technology. But also made sure that no one can steal it. He's not going to be Tony Stark. So, with this, in the Batcave, he would basically craft suits for everyone. I was wondering, what do you mean he would craft suits for everyone? He would craft suits for himself, himself as Batman, Nightwing, Robin, Batwoman, Batwing, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash. He does everything he can to ensure whatever happens to them can be fixed or at least reduced with their suits. Now, we're going to start with the rebuilding of the Bat family with Robin's rise and departure. When Bruce returned, he wasted no time in trying to find Dick Grayson. Now, he actually tried to hit his parents, as when the rope was about to be, shot, he actually would tackle the gunman. And with this one, the gunman actually narrowly missed, the rope being snapped still, but when the rope had hit the ground, Bruce was able to dive in, saving people. But, sadly enough, they were not killed, but they're very badly injured to the point where they cannot really physically take care of Dick. And with this, Bruce said he'll do it. He'll do it until they can do it themselves, or until Dick decides to leave. But Dick's parents are actually alive and around. They are just very much bedridden. His mother being more vegetative, his father being more or less just like, he's basically, from the neck down, unable to move. So with this, he actually does not have them at Wayne Manor or anything like that, but he does have them in their own home, actually in Bloodhaven. You see why I did that, but yeah. Now, as he does train Dick, he actually would take on a role that he's a prepared father. He knows everything he needs to do. So it's not the fact, he's too tight with Jason, or not with Jason, with Dick, or that sounds bad, I know. He's too just free with Jason. It's like that. No, he knows how to be as strict yet as free as possible. So with this Dick was able to do everything he needed to do. He was able to become his own hero, become his own Robin, become all of that. And by the time it came to the Titans, he led them perfectly. Bruce was a flawless leader for this one. He knew how to be that. So with this, by the time it came down to Dick wanted to try on his own, Bruce already had a suit made for him, telling him, that suit should complement you perfectly. And Dick tries it on, it works, it's fine. And this suit would basically enhance his agility, basically like, oh yeah, he's an acrobat. This suit instills his body with the ability to basically perform every acrobatic technique, even if his body shouldn't be able to do it, this suit allows him to do that. But also it basically enhances durability, making him nigh bulletproof, even though the suit is just so thin. Then his escrima sticks are basically, there's various levels of electricity, but the point where if on the highest level, one shock can blow apart a human head. Just the tiniest shock at the highest level can blow apart a human head in an instant. And he mainly built that in because in one shock they should be able to take down Killer Croc for weeks. So, yeah. Pause. So with this one tonight when he gets a suit, him and Bruce part on good terms. They're actually like great friends. They keep in contact, comes over every once in a while, you would bring over his father. His mother doesn't really go anywhere, but yeah. At the same time, Bruce would also recruit Kate Kane, Batwoman. I was wondering why he's bringing in the Bat family, even though he doesn't want a lot of them in the first place. He knows it's better for them. Even if he doesn't want them, he knows their life would be better if they were involved. So Kate Kane, he recruited her, and the same time he recruited Dick. And he actually would proceed to train her separately from, his son. He trains her in the arts of gunmanship, but also kind of after the military as well. I was wondering why he tried to use guns. A lot of guns can incorporate martial arts, or at least styles. With Bruce's aim at this point, even if he doesn't use guns, his aim with the batarangs never misses. If anything, they're a lot like boomerangs. But also, his aim is the point where they don't need to act like that. His aim, if you want to compare it to anyone in his universe, it would be Bullseye, which even then, that's underestimating it. If you want to compare it to outside the universe, it'd be Bullseye. Even then, that might be a little too low. His aim and accuracy and precision cannot be beat. And he's actually having some of that rub off on Kate. Almost like Cassandra. She's not in the DCA AMEO. So, with this, she has her Batwoman suit, but also she does not naturally grow out her own hair in this one. But as she does get trained by him, she actually would develop weapons, or guns, that are still using rubber bullets, but things rubber bullets explode on impact, being able to knock out or badly injure someone with one shot. And rubber bullets can be pretty easily produced by Bruce. He makes them himself. And for a job, he actually just employs her at Wayne Tech as the head of security. And she also will actually review a lot of their weapons that they make. Also, for his whole arsenal he has that is found in Batman Bad Blood, does not happen. He kind of realized that was a bad idea. So all the secrets are in a whole other Wayne Tech building that no one knows. Like, legally, it's not even under his name. Legally, it's under Alfred's name. So, yeah, only people who know about the warehouse are those who know he's Batman. But even then, only friends who know he's Batman. The Flashpoint Paradox. By this point, Bruce knows a majority of the Justice League. By the way, this might be out of order, but I don't really care, to be honest. At this point, he already knows all the Justice League, and he amplified suits for them. For Wonder Woman, her suit's basically meant to amplify her own abilities, but also negate magic, bullets, swords, everything. Her suit's basically impenetrable by anyone who is, well, below her. There's certain characters who can definitely penetrate it, because, it wouldn't be a fight without it, but even then, it's hard to penetrate it. Superman's suit is basically full of nanotech, and he originally wanted his suit to be enhanced. And because it was his mom's design. But, technically, Bruce would basically inject nanotech into it, and the suit can basically, also the nanotech also does have some of Clark's DNA. So, it basically actually supply, kind of just constantly allows him to not be immune, but to recover almost quintuple the speed when he's affected by a red sun, kryptonite, all that. So, let's say, for example, he's shot with a kryptonite bullet. His body will slowly begin ejecting it and pushing the bullet out. Only time a bullet could probably kill him is if it's directly through the heart or through his brain. It'd be the only time he'd be affected. So it's very hard for anything to permanently affect Clark, already more than it is. Also with Barry. His suit is basically as enhanced as can be. And Barry also didn't want his enhanced, but injecting nanotech into it in secret, all that. And also lets him basically kind of just track Barry even across dimensions or universes. So for the Flashpoint, he already knew what was happening, and he basically began stabilizing the timeline to ensure nothing happened. And when Barry returned, he realized that, when he returned to his, when he tried to return to where he left from, in fact, he actually returned into the Batcave. He was confused until he saw Batman sitting there like a disapproving father. And Barry's a bit confused until Batman says, I know what you did. And Barry just handed him a letter, walked away, and Bruce says, I can track you across dimensions. Don't do it again. And Barry just nodded. But if you're wondering how he can stabilize it, he has technology at this point. It's a bit, he revolutionized Wayne Tech about 20 years ago from where he is now. Now, at this point, his technology is to the point where he can pretty easily track across dimensions. It's not hard for him to do. He's probably one of the smartest characters in DC AMU because of this right now. Not DC AMU, in the DC universe. He will track across dimensions like it's nothing. He can do that by monitoring it just from his cowl. He doesn't even need a back computer. I was wondering about his own suit with enhancement he made. It's basically meant to handle all his rogues while looking perfectly normal. I mentioned, by the way, the art that is made by Phil Cho on DeviantArt. I should have mentioned that earlier, but that's who the art for Batman was made by. At least the one that I'm using. Alright, but when Flashpoint happens, it's a pretty simple story. The time of Justice League War, though, For Justice League War, he already anticipated every little detail. I was wondering, what do you mean by every little detail? This is the first invasion. This is how the League would originally meet, I guess. So for this one, it should take place before the Flashpoint Paradox. It does. But by this time, he hasn't even really officially, they're not, he's met all of them. They're just not an official squad. So he's already enhanced, for Wonder Woman, and I think they're meeting, you're a hero, I respect your power, this is a gift, and he brings her a suit. And then for Clark, met a few times as Superman, he's like, by the way, this is a gift, a suit. Clark's like, no, thank you, it's my mom's suit, I like it. And he's like, alright, got it. Shoulder pat, injected nano stuff. Hal Jordan, he literally just makes his own suit, doesn't enhance anything for him. And then for Flash, same thing with Clark. Barry's like, hey, I made the suit, I like it, I'm good. Alright, shoulder pat, inject technology into it. There. For Cyborg, for Justice League War, though, he actually knew what was going to happen to Victor, so he basically made sure it happened less painful. He made sure to reinforce Star Labs. So when he began getting technology, they were actually able to pretty quickly integrate technology into Cyborg. Point where he actually can change his appearance briefly. He can change his skin color, but he can actually appear more human. So he actually does like his identity as Cyborg. But also for the mother boxes, Bruce can create those in his spare time at this point. So when he found one, he pretty quickly just injected a key into it, and then immediately it was done for. Plus the Paradooms. Well, not Paradooms, just the Parademons. He immediately was able to find a frequency to call all of them to one location, and meanwhile Clark would be able to actually blast down heat rays. Since Clark's power did increase a lot, he just doesn't know how. he assumes he's got to get stronger. But when he lets down heat vision, the heat vision is able to erase them, basically. They're not really even atoms are left of them, they're just erased. So with this parademon invasion is still handled pretty quickly, actually. In fact, faster than even canon happened. Alright, but now we go on to Darkseid when he arrived. When Darkseid arrived, he fought Clark, and Clark realized, when he was being hit by the Omega Beams, it wasn't really hurting. He was able to push through it briefly and then engage in hand-to-hand combat. And that's when Batman would speak up, saying he enhanced all their suits, except for, Hal. They should be able to fight on a higher scale. Do it. Go all out. Don't worry about anything around you. Just do it. Clark did as told, and he realized he was definitely much stronger, to the point where Darkseid was even at a disadvantage against him alone. And Flashing Man speeding up, his suit kind of weaponizing lightning. When Barry started creating thunder lightning around him, and he's able to weaponize it pretty easily, even creating constructs of it by using the Speed Force. Wonder Woman, she's able to be physically stronger. They don't give him the Darkseid Mega Beam. She's able to deflect it with her sword alone and hit someone with the deflecting ability. So with this kind of fight, Darkseid realizes he's going to lose. He genuinely knows he will not win this fight. So with this, he retreats. He has to. Everyone's asking how Batman enhanced their suits, but only Wonder Woman's like, oh yeah, he gave me this suit. I don't know what he did to you guys. Clark would ask, did you replace my suit in secret? Barry's like, you do the same thing to me? He's like, no, I literally just snuck in technology. Your suits are the same. I just added something to it, and now your suit's different, kind of. Now, Clark just heard his heartbeat. He's like, he's not lying. These are our same suits, I guess. He just added his own thing to them. And Batman just says, nanites. And walked away. Now we go on to the next Robin being Jason Todd. We don't know if it would be after or before Justice League War, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was before, but my script order got messed up. So this would be before, I'm sorry. But when it comes to this, Jason and him already have a good relationship, all that. A lot of his mentorship with Jason is just very positive and friendly. He also would constantly learn how to teach him how to use guns because he knows what would come in the future. As I'm adding Batman under the Red Hood for this universe because I like it. Why not? This Batman would see it all from timeline where Batman under the Red Hood would take place, and he doesn't realize that this new universe had merged, so he already knows it's coming. So he made sure that Jason was prepared early on. But Jason still does die, all that. When he comes back, Ra's even admits that Jason, at this point, is probably the most scared, terrifying fighter he's ever met, aside from Batman. As you guys want to know how Batman handles his rogues, so I'm going to go over how he handles his rogues, because that's going to tie into the next little arc right here, part 5, so to say. So, when it comes down to his rogues, here's a Poison Ivy and her plants, all that. In his suit, he carries just a little vial. He can throw it out, and immediately, within the next about 5 miles, plant life dies. You're wondering, isn't it dangerous? Yes, the thing is, it dies temporarily. Ivy knows that, he just has no way to counter it. Whatever way she develops to counter it, Batman can adjust immediately. Batman is a better chemist than she is. He knows more about plants than she does. She doesn't know how, but he does. Ivy can't ever really get one over on Batman. She tries her best and fails in those horrifying ways. So Ivy, a lot of villains of Batman prefer to stay in Arkham because they can't handle Batman. Even Bloodhaven, cool. Dick Grayson's there. They prefer to go back to Gotham, stay in Arkham, or Blackgate. That easy. Here's Bane. Bane tries to fight Batman when he realizes that his suit has immense shock absorption and realizes that him and Bane basically go blow for blow over and over again, and Bane's venom, even no matter how much venom he takes, will not matter. Because it's just shock absorption, blow for blow, no matter what. And Batman also does have a slightly enhanced strength because his body is much more adjusted to every martial art known in the known universe. So yeah, even with that, Bane has no chance of beating Batman because, he's just way too skilled. It's even lucky that Bane lands a hit on him. With Joker, Batman already knows all his plans. Joker doesn't really surprise him anymore. Plus, canonically, there's 3 Jokers, I believe. But in DC AME, probably only 1 or 2. I'd go 1, to be honest. So with that, when it comes down to Joker, he knows all his plans, he knows what he's going to do. Even if Joker's something new, they all follow the same lines. Joker cannot surprise Batman, and Joker knows that. He just tries his best to be a villain, and Batman demeans him every time. Joker has a dirty bomb. Batman says, I disarmed it. I knew where it was. you can't surprise me. They don't send in Alfred in disguise. Alfred just will like have like this little key. Batman says, insert it somewhere, it will work, and it works. Even Batwoman occasionally arrives, and he's like, "Where's Batman?" She's like, "Oh, he had a date." Joker tries his best to be Batman's villain in this one, and it just does not work. Batman does not care about Joker. He does not care about any of his villains. He knows what they'll do, and it does not work. If anything, it's not the fact he beats them that causes the mental issues. It's the fact that they can't be good villains is what causes them issues. Even Joker thought about going to Metropolis, but even then, the only time he tries to leave the city for a whole new crime, Batman's there. Joker cannot surprise him, and if anything, Joker's a more disturbing individual because of Batman. But even then, it does not matter. Now, what else? Catwoman. He opened up to her a lot earlier on, the point because he already knew that he wanted a relationship with her. So Catwoman, he basically caught her, then not long after, he met her as Bruce Wayne, all that. Point by the time that we go on to, like, where I'm talking about, like, the main story, just like all that, him and her are already dating, they're a good couple, she's also a vigilante. But she goes around more than just Gotham and Bloodhaven. She goes around for a few other cities, occasionally interacting with Wonder Woman, Superman, all that. Alright. But now let's go further into front of Atlantis. Excuse me. Actually, wait, pause. I meant Son of Batman. I ended up skipping a whole section, my bad. Now, fate in this one does still matter, because certain things have to happen, such as Jason Todd dying, and Batman cannot change that. And such as with him being arborted by Talia al Ghul. He did try to prevent it, but it did not work. Also, by the way, Ra's al Ghul does view Batman as an actual demon. He does not view Batman as human at all. Yeah, he trained Bruce Wayne. He doesn't know what the fuck Batman is. That's not Bruce Wayne. That is a different creature. They have fought over and over again, and Ra's proceeded to get the beating of a lifetime each and every time. Oh, look, I know Kendo. Batman's like, cool, I know Kendo from 3,000 different galaxies away. What can you do about that? Yeah, Ra's cannot surprise Batman at all either. Like, if anything, Ra's is growing insane, trying to become the next Batman. Remember Damian, when he does, like, see Bruce Wayne? Bruce already knows what Damian thinks of him. He already knew that Damian would be like, I thought you'd be bigger. Batman does not allow that. What do you mean he doesn't allow that? You know that Damian sees him? Bruce is initiates a whole presence of where Damian just feels a demon. He does not feel the warmth of the body, he does not feel the warmth of anything. He feels the aura of a demon, and he cannot stop that. He feels like he's helpless against someone like Batman. But Damian already knows why his grandfather is so obsessed with Batman, as he grew up hearing about how Ra's al Ghul trained day and night to surpass the Bat and could never do so. So for this movie, when it comes down to Damian meeting Bruce, all that, part of understands that Bruce is a whole different kind of creature. Bruce is not Ra's al Ghul. Bruce is a monster. And when he starts their training, first we go on to when they get there, when they get to the Batcave, Damian still sneaks out. Batman allows him to do so, just so he can actually see how strong this Dick Grayson is. So when it comes down to Dick Grayson versus Damian Wayne, and Dick's all cut up, he has a single cut. That's because he gave Damian the first attack and it grazed him. After that, when they pick up Damian's covered in bruises and welts. And Bruce asks, how'd you beat him up? He says, oh, I kind of just hit him a few times with my stick. I didn't really even move. I kind of just leaned and hit him. And Damian says, no wonder my grandfather went insane in trying to beat you. You guys are different. You guys aren't assassins. And he just calls them all monsters. And Alfred literally kind of like swats him over the back of the head, telling him be more respectful. As Alfred's a little more protective of Bruce in general because he knows what he went through and does not want him to do so again. So, Alfred already knows that also this is not his Bruce. This is just a Bruce, but he's more protective of this one because he knows this one is probably more emotionally fragile, and he is. He just tries to avoid all scenarios. And when it comes down to things like Jason Todd's death, Alfred was there immediately trying to make sure Bruce would not go off the deep end because he cannot prevent something. So, yeah. But now back to the Throne of Atlantis. This one, on the edge of the shores, Bruce had already prepared everything. And in secret, he actually met with Arthur Curry months before this event even occurred. As he actually would ask him to hey, can I set up technology on the brink of the water? And Arthur would be like, why? He's like, oh, because I'm by Atlantis. Then Arthur does try to fight him, but Bruce immediately put him in a chokehold and then began holding him down. They're wondering how he did so. He had his batsuit underneath, just no cowl. His batsuit underneath the suit. So his strength is definitely enhanced. He'd be able to choke out an Atlantean. But eventually, though, he's going to be secretly training Arthur and giving him money to support the lighthouse. So Arthur's never drunk or someone who's lazy. In fact, he was just waiting for Atlantis to start its war. Not start its war, but to come get him. And when Batman is detected going off, already knew something was off with Atlantis. So a lot of this movie, we actually see Arthur Curry ready for, a fight. Wait, pause. Oh, sorry. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, when it came down to the war with Atlantis, Bruce technology along the shores that Atlantis would attack, and basically their attack was nullified by technology alone. Then Arthur having an enhanced suit that Bruce would enhance secretly, the same way he did with Superman and Flash. Yeah, Arthur alone could have stopped this war, and he did. The technology literally just subdued their ability to control water. And then Mara and Arthur himself were able to finish the fight. Literally, Justice League were sitting by watching. That's just it. If anyone came to shore, immediately it was just Flash pushing them back into the water, and that was just it. And occasionally, Bat-Bat would just shoot someone in the leg if they got close enough. So, yeah. By the way, this is just a small thing throughout the story. Bruce constantly has nightmares of the original universe. He just cannot help it. The Mobius share does haunt him. His mind's still slightly connected to it. Alright, now we go on to Batman vs. Robin. Now, this is another thing that Fate does, kick Bruce in the ass over. Damian still struggles with their ruthlessness of the League of Assassins, but also Raish was borderline insane over Batman. A lot of his villains are. They're more mentally unstable because of Batman. So Raish is someone who trained day and night to become Batman. He also trained Damian to become the next Ra's al Ghul, one who could beat Batman. So it came down to things like Talon, who's also not manipulating him in this one, but more trying to convince him to turn away. Damian's more willing to do so. He wants to become what his grandfather wanted him to do. He feels like there's no other way to surpass the Bat and doing what his grandfather wanted. So Damian already has this thing in the back of his mind. It's basically, it's the kind of thing where, you know how certain movies or TV shows we see someone dead talking to a character? Even has that with Raish, where Raish is telling him, you can't be the Bat. You need to be me. And Damian is falling for it. He's falling for Raish more than Talon. Talon is just convenience. So with this, when it came down to when it comes down to Damian and Bruce's first fight on that rooftop of the museum, and him and Damian fight, Damian's yelling incoherently about telling Raish to shut up, telling Bruce to let him win. When Damian's even crying, he doesn't want to, but he can't help it. Talon, Raish, Bruce, they're all too much for his mind. And Bruce knows this. This point where he actually kind of assumes what this Raish would say, and he's actually saying it back with Damian. It's kind of in unison. Remember, Damian begins getting overwhelmed, mentally overwhelmed, and simply just falls to the ground crying. He can't help it. He doesn't want to be what the grandfather wants him to do, but also doesn't want to be the Bat. He wants to be better than him, but he knows he can't. Damian aims too high for everything at this point, and he doesn't know how to handle it. So Bruce, knowing that, used that against him. Talon watched this and realized Damian is simply just too mentally weak or too mentally vulnerable to handle it. But the moment that he tried to walk away, he feels eyes in the back of his head. He turned around, and Bruce was right there. Or Batman was. Talon was confused on how he got so far so fast. No one knows how he moved so fast. Even Clark would occasionally realize, he's in the shadows. I can't see him. So, yeah, simply put, he is just too fast. But when Talon tries to back up, he's grabbed by the neck, and immediately he's lifted in the air, and he is just held until he passes out. Then Batman released a small message to Batwoman asking her to handle the Court of Owls. They've been a nuisance for the final time to him. As is told, not killing anyone, but they're definitely getting a message of, you all need to, how do I phrase this? you don't need to leave Batman the fuck alone. Even if you know who he is, you need to leave him alone. And it's as easy as that. The challenge is arrested. He's not dead, anything like that. He's literally just in prison. Excuse me. Damian, Bruce to send him to the monastery, but he sent them there to find inner peace. Not because he needs to be set straight. No, he is there because his mental state is simply just too fragile to handle what Bruce is doing right now. Now for Batman Bad Blood. Damian is not involved. Bruce immediately just before Damian is leaving, he simply told everyone around him, if anything happens to me, ensure the news does not get news of Bruce Wayne or Batman being missing, because I don't want Damian coming back here. And everyone understands why. In fact, also Kate can handle a lot of Bruce's things. She is probably more competent than the canonical DC AMU Batman. In fact, she is. Like, Damian's probably the only member, definitely at this point, who's not on, actually, Luke as well. So basically, Dick and Kate are both better than DC AMU Batman in almost every single way, except for the fact that he just has more experience. That's the only difference between DC AMU Batman and then Kate and Dick. That's it. Alright. Now, Fate does still make Batman get captured, but he's already been mentally able to negate all of it. He just plays dumb. And when it came down to... Also, he did it on his own. Kate knows him, so she knows he wants to do things alone. But then it came down to him being missing. Immediately, Dick took over Batman happily. Him and Bruce are on good terms all the time. Like, it's not like, oh, I need to get out your shadow. No, Bruce made sure Dick had his own shadow. He made sure that no one was ever in it. He made sure they had time to do their own thing. In fact, some days when it came down to like, oh, there's a crime going on, Bruce just simply tells Dick, go on your own. And take like an extra gear, like weapon or two, if you need to. And Dick is told he handled a lot of crimes on his own because Batman knew what he wanted and what he needed. So at this point, he's going to cope with the mental Batman happily. And he's actually able to imitate him pretty well. This Batman does have a slight... He's not cheery, he's definitely more empathetic, so there's not much for Dick to mess up on. So when it came down to Dick taking over the mantle of Batman, he's definitely more efficient at it. But where you have the first thing with Damian coming back and it's just Dick in a warehouse fighting these goons, Damian is not there. He did it all on his own. He's able to do that pretty easily. Now, if you guys are wondering what happened with Luke Fox or Lucas Fox, he's working for Wayne Tech. They're wondering, oh, why so? Batman just tells him like you convince him ways to become part of Wayne Tech. You guys are wondering how he did that? He told him who Batman was. He knows he'd work for Batman, not Bruce Wayne. So he simply told him, I'm Batman, and your understanding of physics and math is good. I want you to design me a suit to work with that. And that is how he has his basic shock absorption suit. It basically distributes everything. It's basically the suit that Batman has on 24/7 that absorbs a lot of shock, like what he does with Bane. Luke helped him design it. And so that's what he did for a lot of the members of Justice League. So Luke already has his own suit, all that. So he came down to like, oh yeah, by the way, since Damian's gone and Bruce is missing, you can step in if you want to. I don't really need help, but do it if you want to. If anything, Kate is patrolling Bloodhaven for me while I do this. You can do whatever you want to. I don't care, but it'd be a tad bit helpful if you like stop small crimes on the way. And he agreed to that. So yeah. Also, his armor more or less resembles the Hellbat armor, just not as strong or without as many costs, like physically. But it still is definitely powerful. Like, we're powerful than most Batman suits, and that is what it's meant for. It's basically to be the strongest Batman suit ever. And Luke can casually use it. He's the one who invented it. Like, he did it on his own, with Bruce just allowing him full access to all this tech and cash. Alright. Now, when it came down to, what was it? The Nuns Church. Actually, no, first one going when they tried to invade Wayne Towers. Luke in this one, they try to get in the back room. Immediately, Luke simply pressed the button on watch, and his suit came flying to him, kind of like how Iron Man's suit does. So immediately, as soon as all the villains turn around, they realize everyone had evacuated, even Lucius. And they realize there's no Batman stuff here. They're met by Batwing in a Hellbat-ish armor, and basically body Heretic, basically everyone around him. But they eventually were able to escape because they basically shocked the suit and kind of blinded it temporarily. It was fine, but it was just a very quick inconvenience. Now he gets to the Nuns Church, all that. When they all arrive, Damien is still not involved. He's not allowed to be involved. And when it came down to going into the church, they're thinking like, oh yeah, Bruce is definitely here. And then get down to where he should be. They see the entire floor is cleared. Talia's in a chokehold, and Bruce just says, "It's about damn time." And he shot a ton of nuns in the back of the legs so they couldn't run and get their guns because they were injured and guns were drawn on them already. Even Heretic was just had head through a wall because of what Bruce did to him. They asked him if he knew he was fine the entire time. He's like, yeah, and honestly, she needed a break. This was light work. Let me just laugh and say, that's so like you, to be honest. And Talia then just gets choked out by Bruce. And she is arrested as well. She doesn't die. Well, Heretic, Bruce feels bad. He never really knew how bad off he was. And with this, when came in Heretic, getting up and trying to put him on his mother, Bruce knelt down and just said, I'll be the parent you want. You want a father, want a mentor? I'll be that. Heretic really hugged Bruce, as he's a very emotionally vulnerable character. Bruce just picked him up, which is very weird, but he kind of picked him over one arm as Heretic just cried. And Bruce just said, is my car here? They nod. Bruce walked outside, threw Heretic in the passenger seat, and then told Batwing to give Kate and Dick a lift. And he did just that. Now going to the next movie, which is Under the Red Hood. Heretic's being trained by Alfred, more or less, actually, because he's usually pretty skilled, but he needs to learn, be less emotionally vulnerable. Like, it's not a bad thing, but he is an actual child mentally. And he's in an adult's body. He needs to learn. Also, Damien's here too, but he's also training with Heretic. But we go on into how Batman finds Jason. He already knows some of the plans, but not all of them. This like one time he's not 100% ahead, but he pretty quickly becomes 100% ahead. So when it comes down to I would say when it comes down to when Jason will have the whole thing where it's like, oh, you haven't lost your touch, Bruce. Coming down to that, immediately Bruce or Batman just smirks and just yells back saying, "You either, Jason," and turns away. Jason just stops the motorcycle, turns around, and realizes he already vanished. He looks around, frantically trying to find out where he went. He thought it'd be a surprise. No, it's not. He's thinking, how would he know? How would he know that I'm Jason Todd immediately? This is the first time we've met. And then as he looks around his little warehouse, he just sees a note, and it just says, "Because I'm the one who taught you how to shoot." And he realizes that Batman got ahead of him the moment he learned he was around. He even went to his warehouse after he left. Jason, when he's paranoid that Batman's watching him at all times, and he is. He has a right to be paranoid about it. Like getting into the Black Mask thing, when he tries to blow his shroom with RPG, all that. When he tried to run away, he bumps into Bruce or Batman. Now Jason tries to fight him until Bruce pretty quickly just gets the better of him and just holds a gun to his head. It's his own gun, so. But he simply just tells Jason, and he knows who he is and wants him to join his side. Jason will ask why, and Bruce just says, "Because I need to tell you something." And he tells Jason everything, but he does make up a lie, saying he lies a bit in his back in time thing. He says he's seen every universe. In every universe, this does happen. In every universe, whether Bruce shoots or tries to kill Joker or not, Joker has to live. It's fate that he cannot die. Pause. Sorry, but yeah, Bruce says he's seen countless universes is where this situation plays out. He either shoots Joker, Jason shoots Joker, or if they fight. Regardless, Joker lives. It's fate that he lives. He cannot kill Joker, and neither can Jason. Jason is yelling at Bruce, trying to present things with a lie, but Jason doesn't know how liars look. Bruce puts on the face of someone who's telling the truth, and Jason can't deny it. Jason cries and just says, "Why can't he die?" And Bruce just says he wishes he knew. He wants him dead more than anything else, but he can't kill him. He's tried. And he has but hasn't. Jason actually ends up hugging Bruce, and Bruce simply just says he prepared a suit for Jason because he had this conversation in mind. They end up going back to the Batcave. Kate and everyone's looking around except for Heretic and Damien. They don't know who Jason is. Who the fuck's that? And really, Dick's Damien, meet your other older brother. Bruce ends up opening up a secret compartment behind Jason's old suit, and it just says, "This is for you," and it's an enhanced Red Hood suit. Now we move on to Justice League versus the Teen Titans. This one, Red Hood is actually the one who actually doesn't mentor the Teen Titans, but he's definitely needs to learn how to work as a team, so he's here as more like a shadow for Damian. And Heretic as well. But if you hear a dog barking in the background, I'm sorry. It's not mine, it's just my neighbor's dog is loud as fuck. But, for this one, and Bruce already knew it would be hard to negate demon control, but... Excuse me. Alright. So, for this one, then with three members of the Bat family being the Teen Titans, they're all kind of just shadows. But they're all definitely prepared. And Bruce does find it hard to negate demon abilities, but he's able to negate some of it in his own mind. But we go on to when two members of the League get controlled. Superman, and Barry. Superman's controlled, his suit actually begins flowing in, the nanite begins flowing in more and more of his DNA. That's what his suit does to, negate magic, kryptonite, red sun, things like that. So over time, his body forcefully regains control, like he absorbs a demon. We must realize that he actually is a lot stronger physically somehow. He doesn't know how he is, but he knows he is. And with Flash, his suit basically does the same thing, basically enhancing the speed force and forcing the demon to be phased out of his body. And Clark being nearby literally just evaporates it with his eyes. So when it comes down to them all having to go to hell and fight, Teen Titans at least, it comes down to seeing Ra's al Ghul, Heretic and Damian want to throw hands. And Ra's is still, he's batshit insane in this one. When it comes down to fighting Damian shows off that he's pretty much more skilled than Ra's is, and Ra's ever was. Ra's does realize he trained under the Bat to be someone else. Not to be the next demon, not to be the next Bat. He trained to be the perfect Robin. That is what he wants to be. He's focusing on the now rather than what he should be in the future. The now says he should be Robin. With this, he pretty quickly beats Ra's, and Heretic even gave him his own beating, as Heretic is also being his own thing. But he's not the Heretic. He doesn't have a new name yet. He's looking for one, though. And he's able to actually pretty quickly beat Ra's himself as well. That's the fact that he's just physically stronger than Ra's ever could be. He knocked Ra's dozens of feet back in one punch, and Ra's even blocked it. Heretic is basically Bane on steroids, but on steroids. Alright. So yeah, so this fight did reveal to everyone, including Jason, about how strong the Bat family is, but also how technology is definitely very helpful. Jason's bullets are basically never able to miss, and that's just him having absurd aim. With Deadshot, if they were to ever have a contest, oh yeah, who's a better marksman? Jason cannot shoot him blindfolded. Bruce can outshoot them both blindfolded and handicapped. Literally let him spit a toothpick and he'll outshoot them both. So, yeah. But what else? Oh yeah, let's go on to Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, actually. Yeah, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. And I'm sure this movie's not connected to the DC AMU, but I like it, so it's included. That's one of the movies I was talking about earlier. But for this one, Bruce Wayne already knows what's happening. So with this one, he actually would have Jason shadow the entire Suicide Squad. He tells Jason, it's your job, bring Heretic along if you want to. So Heretic and Jason are an actual duo now. And Heretic has to keep his name Heretic. His actual name is Thomas. That's what Bruce calls him. So, with Heretic and Jason keeping watch, Heretic in this one still very much emotional like a child, but he's an excited one, not just one who doesn't know how to have emotions. But we move on into let's go on to them getting to Arkham. First when it comes to Joker's Dirty Bomb, Bruce already knew where it was and just had Alfred Bruce on the day was gave Alfred the location, just drive there and disarm it. I don't care that much. So got it. I told him to the manor, drink some tea. And in Arkham, when it comes down to about them about to tell the guards, Heretic would just emerge from the shadows, grab King Shark, and throw him into Deathstroke, Deadshot. Immediately Bullseye, Captain Boomerang, tries to throw a boomerang right at Heretic, but Heretic would actually just catch it and just shatter it with just grip strength alone. And all of them try to fight Heretic, And he just says, you can't even beat the Batman. What makes you think you can beat me? And he basically slammed the entire Suicide Squad on his own. It's not very difficult for him to do so. And Shark is definitely a physical threat, which made Jason just shoot him in the eye, and that was King Shark being not killed, but he's definitely not getting back up. And with this, Jason would also just throw Heretic, this device telling him, put it to the back of their neck with the X's, and then, follow my lead. He does just that, and with a few presses, they disarm the bombs, but also put them back in Arkham in their own cells. They do it personally, so Joker sees him like, oh, did you guys find my bomb yet? And Jason says, oh, that thing, we disarmed it like a few hours ago. We kind of just focus on them at this point. Joker's jaw drops, says, no, that can't be. And immediately, Jason just says, you're dumb as shit. Batman's a genius. I don't know what you thought would happen. You were never able to outsmart him. I mean, what makes you think you could now? And that you can watch Joker have a whole mental breakdown in his cell, like screaming, crying, punching the walls, full-blown mental breakdown. And Jason just smirks and it was disarmed 30 minutes ago. I just needed to see this. So yeah, he literally just enjoys mentally torturing the Joker after that, because why not? Who wouldn't? For the get out of hell free card, immediately Waller's pissed off that they were being shouted the entire time. Like she would even find a way to contact Batman thing, and you up to my entire op. She says, no, I didn't. I did everything that you needed to. I had all your intel. And he pulled up all her files saying, me and you are similar. In fact, they kind of are. But he says, if anything, we're similar, but I'm more heroic than you'll ever be. And I'm not a good person. That says a lot. And he hangs up on a Waller. But before he does so, he flashes to get out of hell free card. And yes, he does have it. He just kind of just keeps it. Not even planning to use it, he just has it. If anything, he'll give it to Alfred or something if he needs it. He'll probably give it to Damian or Jason. Those are probably the most malicious members of that family. Next movie, Death of Superman. Another thing that Fate is a bitch about that Bruce could not prevent. But the thing is, though, the nanites, they have Clark's DNA. If his suit is injured, if his suit is ripped, they just go into his body so they can heal him. So even when Doomsday and Clark die in a fight, the nanites are immediately healing Clark. Like, by the time Lois arrives, he realizes that even on the news, he was bloody and beaten. Now there's no blood, not even any injuries. Bruce immediately just throws his cloak over them both, and they vanish. And they reappear right in the Fortress of Solitude. She asks how he did that, and he just says, don't ask questions. He put Clark in his usual container, and tells her he'll be up and moving in a few months. Guess what he did? He says, the nanites have in his suit. They ended up repairing his injuries. He's like, why? Why does it need to be a few months? And he says, if he came back right now, he'd be weaker than ever. He'd still be strong as hell, but we need the Superman we know. Nothing on Superman we could just have. We can't settle for Superman. We need ours. I was smiling, thinking Clark, not Clark, thinking Bruce. But also, he actually would fill the entire building with, robotic Supermen. They're not strong as him, but they're still robotic Supermen. With the reigning Superman, when it came down to the Eradicator, Superboy, Steel, Cyborg Superman, all that. Hold up real quick. Alright. So, for Steel and the Eradicator, Batman had more or less just... He made Steel a suit. When he found out who Steel was, well, already knew. When he found out that Steel was already in action, he really would send him a suit when he came back home. He was like, oh, what's this? And it just says, Batman. He opens it, finds a new suit, and allows him to function almost on par with base Superman, not the enhanced one Batman kind of made. And with the Eradicator, he goes to Fortress of Solitude constantly to just enhance him. Point where he's he's actually above Superman. Superboy, he also just tells him who he is when he does Superman, and what he did to the Eradicator in Steel. And secretly, he would pull Superboy away from the control of Luthor, bring him to his side, in fact, even training him from time to time. Superboy is definitely more skilled than the Eradicator and Steel, but he's still physically less superior to the both of them. The point when it comes down to Cyber Superman, no one wants him around. I was wondering, why would that? The Superman, the Eradicator, Superboy, Steel. Cyber Superman's only comparable to base Superman. These three are all roughly as strong as that, if not better, and not even if not, they are better. Superboy, skill, eradicator, power, steel, heroism, everything. He's physically above him as well. Eradicator just has more power. So Cyber Superman does realize the plan will not work. Even Darkseid is like, even one of those is stronger than the one that fought me years ago. So they already know there's no way for him to, be Superman. So when it came to Cyber Superman back, try to leave, really Batman would confront him on the news. Everyone wondering, oh, is Batman happy to see his old teammate? He says, no, that's not Superman. Oh, why is that? He says, because I saved him, he's just recovering. Lois Lane backs it up, saying that she saw it and has images to prove it. Cyber Superman is Darkseid's thing. He's a plaything. So Cyber Superman then tries to jump in at Batman to kill him, but Batman really just jumps in the shadows, and then they can't see him. Only for Batman to appear behind him and suplex him right on his head. You then see Steel jump down, slamming his hammer down on Cyber Superman's head. Then Superboy would jump in, then the Eradicator. All three jump him. Then Steel would then activate a small mechanism in his hammer and says, is this what the EMP is for? Then would just nod, saying, yeah, I'm going to handle it. And he just walks off. Superman is handled within a matter of weeks. Then the Darkseid tries to have his whole invasion, or anything happen, honestly. But just in time, Superman wakes up, and he would handle everything. The Eradicator is put back into sleep, but also slowly being enhanced should he ever be brought out again. And he's the better Superman, power-wise. He just doesn't have the emotion. Superboy is also allowed to stay, but he also doesn't want to be around Luthor. So, in fact, actually would not be raised by Superman, but he would actually be trained by the Bat family. And particularly by Damian. And Heretic. And Steel can do whatever he pleases. Him and Luke get along pretty well. Now, what else? Hush. That's the next movie, I believe. Alright. So with Hush, Bruce already knows what's going to happen. When it came down to Nigma having a tumor, instead of Nigma going to see, or Riddler, by the way, going to see Elliot, on his way there, Batman confronted him in an alleyway. Riddler tries to back off, saying, I'm not here for a fight. I'm sick. I need a doctor. Batman just says, I know. I've been wondering why I've been trying to commit a crime in weeks, so I was tracking you. Hugo grabs Nigma and immediately kidnaps him. Nigma wondering what's happening until he is knocked out and he wakes up fine. That's what happened, and Batman just says, I borrowed the Lazarus Pit. As Nigma said outside, realizing Batman kind of took the League of Assassins. Like, he literally took their entire base of operations. Oh, how do you do that? Talia's in prison, Raisha's dead, other members kind of literally scattered. Or Heretic took over. Heretic can't do that. So, I'd also go along they're all just arrested. So, yeah. So this way would also train a lot. I was wondering, how they get back in time. Their jets literally fly at relativistic speed. Relative to light speeds. So they can get to Gotham in a matter of minutes if they need to. Not even minutes, seconds if they need to. So it's not that hard. So Riddler's healed. He's brought back to Gotham, and then he just doesn't go back to being a villain. In fact, he goes on living a normal life. So yeah, Thomas Elliott's alive. There's really nothing here that would... The Hush movie ended before it even started. That easy. And the guy just wanted a cure, wanted his cancer to be gone. Sure. Oh, the guy wondering if he does utilize, then the Lazarus Pit to cure cancer. He's trying to. He's just trying to make sure that there'd be no lingering effects. Nigma was just the first... Not just the first, guinea pig. So far, there's a few drawbacks, the fact that Nigma does have a few mental changes. It's usually more mentally unstable because, Batman's villains are all more mentally unstable because of just what he does to them. But he's definitely more of a neutral party now. Excuse me. Also, at this point, he's still dating Catwoman. She just doesn't go in and out of Gotham as often. She, just goes to Wayne Mansion, or Manor, more often. Alright. Next up would be just the Dark Apocalypse War. And for this one, it would basically be only a prelude. In fact, kind of not only, but still mostly a prelude. Now, Batman immediately actually has like John Constantine and Zatanna prep certain objects Batman knows of that would be helpful in the future. But also he has them prep with Raven. In fact, he has every magic user prep together. They're monitors, so every league member knows how they're prepping, but still they're doing it on their own. Basically, two-way cameras having certain league members with certain skills prepping together only in groups, but having monitors connect everyone to each other so they know how everyone's prepping. They occasionally does questions as well. Also enhanced Clark's suit to the point where kryptonite got penetrated, making him invulnerable to kryptonite as long as he wears that suit, including the red sun. Point even his Omega Beam, like the Darkseid's Omega Beams, cannot hit Clark. No, they can hit him, they can't damage him, they can't penetrate his suit. So the time it goes on to the invasion happening, well, when Darkseid's forced to try to, leave, Darkseid's confronted by Clark. End up in a fight, and Clark is dogging him, before even the Eradicator would arrive to help dog him. But it sounds like Darkseid's beaten to a pulp in the middle of his own castle. Then when we came on the invasion, we have Steel and we have Superboy fighting the invasion, not themselves, but they're like the main forces. Then eventually we have more and more people jump in. A lot more people. Even the Flash is doing so. But he also would use an enhanced suit point where even just him running around in a circle hitting his tornado, he can infuse his Speed Force into it, and kind of just erases everyone. Like they're set into the Speed Force and then the Black Racer kills them. They're set in the Speed Force and they're not Speed Force users. They're just people in the Speed Force, and the Black Racer does not like them there. So he can send people in the Speed Force to be killed by the darker Black Racer. Like the invasion ends as soon as it begins. Like the Darkseid is beaten before his forces even reach Earth. Then we came down to, what they should do about Darkseid. Clark and Eradicator don't want to kill him because, they still have Superman's mentality. But instead, John Constantine has a whole new idea. He ends up plucking Raven's gem off her head, and immediately would open it, unleashing Trigon. Wondering what this plan is, until all magic users would then summon a whole portal and compress Darkseid and Trigon in this portal, creating them in an endless fight that is no longer inside their dimension. And if should it break, well, they will be erased. They're fighting under certain restrictions. They cannot erase a dimension in their fight. So now, that is where this story ends. Justice League has Darkseid and Trigon sealed away somewhere, and Batman made sure there's less casualties in every event. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe for more. Adios.